So, a stolen people in a stolen land. More race after rhetoric coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Conversations Like Reason. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, a stolen people in a stolen land is an example of fictitious notion. It really truly doesn't exist. There's no black person alive today who was stolen. It's just more victimhood. And of course, race hustlers will always use any means at their disposal to keep administering that race drug to black people, to keep black folks addicted to the race drug. And they've been doing a miraculous job because so many blacks are just brainwashed by race. It's beyond belief that you have so many black people who cry about racism, but yet can't really tell you how racism is holding them back. It's beyond belief. That's just testament to how bad the brainwashing is amongst black people. But one of the things that you hear these race hustlers say is that we as black people, we can never feel safe as a stolen people in a stolen land. We can never rest. We can never be at peace as a stolen people in a stolen land. As I stated, this is ridiculous. Now, one of the people who you often hear say this is Dennis Sterling. I'm a fan of Dennis Sterling, and he seemed to have taken up some of the mantle left behind by Kevin Samuels. Of course, nobody can replace the Godfather. Let's be real on that. But he says this all the time, and if you listen to Dennis Sterling, he throws in a lot of race hustling. That low-key race hustling. And I really don't like the race hustling. He'll have a great message, but somewhere in that, he'll throw some racism in there. And he says this all the time about how black people have to leave because we can't be at peace we can never be at peace. We can never have peace as a stolen man in a stolen land. Now, this makes absolutely no sense on so many levels. As I already said, black people today are not stolen. You are not a stolen. There's no black person in America today who's been stolen. That's ridiculous. Black people are not a stolen people in a stolen land today. It just simply doesn't exist. We're all free. We're all free to make all our choices in life. That's just how it is. But there are 3 reasons why this doesn't make any sense. Now, the number one reason why this makes absolutely no sense is that blacks were never bought. And I'm not going to say we because I don't believe in that we stuff. We were not there. So black people back then were not stolen. They were bought. White people didn't go into Africa stealing black people. They went to Africa and they bought black people. Now, if you want to say that we were a bought people in a stolen land, then sure, go ahead. But black people were never stolen from Africa. They were bought. They, not us, not we, because we weren't there. There's no black person today that was ever bought or stolen. So that's ridiculous. And even if black people were stolen and came to the land, being stolen and being a stolen person and stole the land doesn't mean that you can't have peace in that land. That's nonsense. Now, the second reason why it's just idiotic is that what land was it stolen? I mean, these people say that they can't, all these race hustlers and the black folks saying that they can't be at peace and they can't have peace as a stolen people in a stolen land. Well, what land are you going to have peace in? Like, name me the plot of land on this planet that hadn't been stolen, that taken from another group of people at one point in time. What, were you going to go to Antarctica? What, Greenland? When it was actually green? And I'm pretty sure even Greenland was stolen from somebody at a certain point. So land has constantly been stolen in history of people. Ever since people have been on this planet, people have been stealing land from other people. So some people who will live on the land, and then another group of people who were stronger than them will come in and invade them, conquer them, and take the land. Then someone will come in and invade and conquer them and take the land, and so on and so forth. Land has been taken and stolen So many times it is ridiculous to even think about it. So where can black people then go to have peace? What, the moon? I mean, again, even though this concept that you can't have peace on a stolen, being a stolen people on a stolen land is ridiculous from the get-go. Now, the third reason why this whole notion is laughable is because a lot of these black men who would say this were fans of Kevin Samuels. Dennis Sterling was a friend of Kevin Samuels. He knew him personally, right? Now, Kevin Samuels was known for saying that men have so civilized the world that women believe that they no longer need men anymore because there's a safety. Okay, but if that's the case, if men have so civilized the world to the point and women, including black women, believe they don't need any men anymore, then how can you say that they're not at peace, that they don't feel safe if the land has been so civilized? Again, proving yet again that with these race hustlers, when they make these statements, they don't think anything's true. You know, how can you, on one hand, as a black man, say that we can be at peace as a stolen people in a stolen land, then turn around and agree with Kevin Samuels when he say that we have civilized this land to bring safety? It makes absolutely no sense. And proving yet again, you know, that this whole notion is proof that when I say that race is a knee-jerk reaction, it really truly is. This is a perfect example of how knee-jerk reaction that race is, that you have so many blacks who clam onto this ridiculous notion that there are stolen people in a stolen land and they can't have peace. So many blacks have clamored on it. It's just knee-jerk reaction. It's just race hustle and knee-jerk reaction, the way they always do. But like I said, this concept that we being a stolen people in a stolen land is just ridiculous on so many levels, and it's just more nonsense that so many blacks have been brainwashed with to be victims in America. And you have, like I said, the case of Dennis Sterling, you have a black man claiming, you're bragging about his success, which I applaud him for his success, but if you're a millionaire and a super successful lawyer, then how can you supposedly not be at peace and not have peace in this country? I mean, really. But anyway, y'all, if you ever hear any of these black people say that, you know, this whole stolen people in a stolen land nonsense, well, now you know, and knowing it's half the battle, and it's always, 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 until next time.